Hey guys, welcome back to Chronicles of a Therapist. I'm Cassandra Shepard, and welcome to my space. So, as I told you guys earlier, sidebar, I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now because it's about to be Leo season. So, shout out to all my Leos, especially the July ones because we special. But anyway, I told you guys when I came back that I now have a total of 4 jobs, one being clinical director and things of that nature. So what made me think about this is I've been in this newer role since it's been 2 or 3 weeks. It's been a month. And I was talking to the owner, and this is probably the first time I've ever had somebody in upper management ever ask this and be genuine. But the owner asked me, "Are you okay? I don't want you to be burnt out. Are you okay?" And for me, that will probably allow me to grow in this company, because if any of you guys have ever worked, and whether it was in your field, out your field, a side hustle, building a business from the ground up, whatever, we've all experienced job burnout. We've all experienced hitting that, whether you're trying to build a house, regardless of what it is, or you're in a job where you work really, 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 really difficult, but they don't pay you well. But you want to keep working because you need the hours because you got a family or you got bills to pay. So I believe that in this society, every person has experienced job burnout on some level. That job burnout can absolutely come from the job itself. Maybe you're not a blue collar person. Maybe you're somebody who is more intellectual, and blue collar work, which is labor work, construction, factory work, anything that is actually physical on your body, maybe you can't do that. Or maybe you started doing it out of high school and now it's year 12 and you like, bruh, I can't do it. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's you're extremely intelligent and life has paused. I was talking to somebody the other day and they were telling me that actually we were playing a game. It was a family talk game that they got from Aldi's or whatever. And the question is, what is something that you would have told to your younger self? And what I said was, I would tell myself to keep going. I would tell myself to make sure that you continue on whatever that goal was. And that's kind of what I did. As at 8, I decided I'm going to be a psychologist at that time. But in the state of Ohio, I can do all the stuff a psychologist does without the doctorate. That's another subject. But I knew that early what I wanted on some levels, my trajectory of life to be, even to the effect of, and most people don't know this, at 8, I made a vow to myself to when it became time to be a mom, that I would be in a space professionally where I could just be a mom, because I saw what it looked like, aunties, uncles, parents, working and raising family, working and making sure you got to do it. I talked about how great I appreciate, I love that my dad put this drive in me to have multiple jobs, but I saw what that did as a child and not being able to have your parents a part of PTA, which is ridiculous sometimes, but you want your parents to be involved, right? And so that job burnout that people experience, sometimes it's just life happening. Maybe you do got a big family, so you got to work more because you might not have a skill set. Maybe you weren't able to go to college. Maybe you're self-taught. Maybe, you know what I mean? And I think in our society, we don't realize how prevalent job burnout is because we still need money. And so when I talk to people about having passion and making your passion your paycheck, that even takes a level. Any entrepreneur listening, watching, y'all know what it looked like. You know what it looked like to take gigs or take a job that you know for a fact you're overqualified for. Your ability to provide whatever that product is top tier, but you just started. And so that job burnout comes very, very quickly, depending on what you got going on. I've also learned for myself personally, the reason why I can hold 4 jobs. Now, granted, I will say that sounds very braggadocious, and that's not my purpose in saying that. I, by nature, because I have grown up with parents who do multiple things, that is a normal for me. I never saw my mom or dad just go to work. It was just go to work and go to school and make sure you raising kids and be a part of the community and be involved at church. And so for me, My baseline is different, but that doesn't mean that I don't get job burnout. For me, the moments that I've noticed, as much as I enjoy and love being a therapist and pouring into people and hold space for people, the moment where I wake up and I want to say, F everybody, I don't want to talk to I don't care about them kids. I don't care about none of that. I have hit my own personal wall. And more often than not, for me, because I understand me in a professional realm, I know how to turn off. I hear that all the time. And people who have jobs in the medical profession, anything where you're working with people, when you don't have the ability to turn off, where you don't know how to go home and just be with your family and not be working and editing and calling and doing notes and doing documentation and doing all these things, yeah, you're going to be job burned out because you get paid or you clock in for 40 hours or whatever the case may be. And when you're not at work, you're working. So yeah, you're going to get burnt out real quick. And I'm learning that even in this in this new role, at this new job, I talk often to the owner about what we need to do and what this staff is doing. And for me, because I know, like I said, I know me, I desire to do well in anything I put my hands to. Anything I'm touching, it's going to be at top tier. I don't half do anything. I do half do things when I'm job burned out, though. When I'm burnt out and don't care about whatever, listen, anybody in the mental health or medical field, if your chart and documentation is behind, baby, you're probably burnt out. You're probably burnt out because that means I'm at work, working. I haven't made time to say, maybe I should do my notes or chart. Don't nobody want to go home. Don't nobody listen. People talk about me all the time because I'm a bag lady. Don't nobody listen. I don't be wanting to carry 2 and 3 laptops with all these jobs to do. No, I don't want to. But for me and probably for you, if you're behind on paperwork, it could be invoices, anything that you're doing outside of the scope. Now, granted, if you work from home, it look different. That might be an issue too. You might need to set up your office away from where you do life. You might need to be tucked away somewhere that look like work. You might need to get up and get dressed and go over there to make it look like work. And when you're done, walk away. So those are things that I think when you're thinking about job burnout, you're not wanting to do your job, but feeling like you have to, not because you love it, but because you got a bill to pay. You're probably burnt out. Also, when you are at the place where you choose your job, now granted, if you are a heart surgeon, if you are an OBGYN delivery doctor, nurse, your schedule might be a little on you're an EMT, you're a firefighter, you're a police officer. Your job is already stressful, but you might be on demand. But even with, like, from what I hear with firefighters, they're on so many days and then off. You have to, when you are off work, whatever your job is, and I'm not talking about those people who have jobs where people not checking for you and you off, but you supposed to be working. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who, when you clock out, clock out. Make sure you did what you need to do. Enjoy your long weekend. Don't answer the phone. Don't open the laptop. Because that is how you continue to sustain. And maybe if you're doing that and it's not working, you might need to change fields. You might need to change fields or you might need to have a passion project. There's been many times in my life where I was working. I love being a therapist, but I'm a step over here. You know, at one point I was doing event planning. That was amazing because it was something I enjoyed and I loved doing, but I didn't necessarily like where I worked. I loved my clients. The place that I worked was trash. Didn't like it. So let me go over here and find something that I enjoy doing. Not to the space where you get burnt out. But sometimes maybe you like working out. You might need to join a different gym. Maybe that need to be your passion until you're able to decide, maybe I need to leave the IT field. Maybe I used to be an introvert and I'm not an introvert anymore. I want to be around people. Maybe working from home ain't working no more because I'm always home and I don't like it. Be able to identify that and find ways to get out of it so that you don't have heart attacks. You don't have strokes. You're not cussing your kids out all the time. And I'm not talking about those of you who have children, especially children under children, I was going to say under an age, but all kids do it, where they just be doing too much and you just need them to go sit down somewhere and be productive within their own bubble. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you're angry at your children for being children. Mommy, can I have something to eat? Hey, Dad, can we go play basketball? Why is that an issue? That's the space that you've created for your kids. So pay attention to that. Those are the things that you're supposed to do that will make things easier for you. You hate now. You know what I mean? So check that out. I think that's important. I think it's super, super important for us to know what job burnout looks like, because you need to sustain yourself. I'm not telling you to just quit your job. You did not hear that from me. Cassandra, she's there, but she told me just to quit my job. No, that's not what I said. You might need to take a vacation and actually use your PTO. And it might, even if it is a staycation, you might need to take a break somewhere. Go ahead, you can take a break. I'm not telling you just walk out and just quit, because that's not what I said. I said reevaluate and decide what you can do differently so that work can be work, home can be home, your friends and your relationships can be your friends and relationships. So I think that's important. This is something that I've told myself, I've told loved ones, I've told friends. I have friends in this field, and when they get to the place where we have to schedule and we never meet, maybe you are burnt out and you just want to shut down, and now you look depressed, but in real life you probably are burnt out from your job and being an adult. But but yeah, check into those things, check into yourself, make sure to take time for you, because that's most important. Most important. It's okay to be selfish and take care of you. And I say that because that's a part of being burnt out with life, not just job, but life. Like, you have to be able to provide for yourself. You have to mentally check in with yourself. You have to emotionally check in, physically check in. When the last time you drank some water, ate some vegetables, went to work out, went to go be active and went for a walk, sat in the sun? Take care of you, because you can't be all that you are to everybody else if you don't take care of you. Guys, thanks for listening. You can catch me on Instagram at @cnshep_chronicles. And I'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening, guys.